What is up, you guys? It's your favorite cutie Mel back again on my Soapbox channel to give you guys another video. I decided to do my makeup today, so I said why not do a little catch-up video. It's been a while since I've done just like a speaking video, and I need to get my makeup done, and I'm like, let's multitask because I'm thinking of maybe uploading to both of my channels today. So today I want to talk about the meaning of self-love. So when I first got started like on the whole self-help and like trying to understand what it meant to be good to myself and trying to start loving myself, I first associated it with kind of like just doing nice things for myself, maybe buying myself nice things if I wanted it, taking a bubble bath, you know, all of those things that people kind of like talk about doing for themselves, and like, oh, it's a self-care day. And I think that those things can be a part of self-love, because I think caring for yourself definitely is a part of self-love. But after reading, or I'm almost done with it, if you guys are subscribed to this channel, you guys know that right now we're reading All About Love by Bell Hooks. You know how important it is now that you assign a definition to love, because a lot of the times when we say anything about love, I think it's like this abstract woo-woo kind of concept, like, oh, it makes me feel this way. It's more of like a feeling when we think of it more than an action. So let's give it a definition. I can't remember all of the different aspects right off the top of my head without looking at the book, but I know that her definition says something about aiding yourself or others on their spiritual path, basically to evolution, and also care, respect, compassion, and patience. I think those are in there, but they might not be, but it's still noteworthy to say. So I think that these are things that really determine how much you care about yourself. Listening, how well you listen to yourself, your feelings, how in tune are you with your emotions? Do you gaslight yourself when you have a feeling about someone or something or some situation? How in tune are you with yourself? Because these things will affect how much you can love yourself. So let's get started. Let's start off with being in tune and why that's important in your journey of self-love. Being in tune with yourself is important because part of self-love is respecting yourself and putting yourself in spaces where you feel respected, where you feel like you can grow, where you feel like you could be your most authentic self and be accepted and loved. So I'm kind of going out of order than I normally would with my makeup today, but that's okay. It'll all get done. Putting yourself in those kind of environments. So I'm going to talk about some times where I feel like maybe I wasn't loving myself, not because I didn't want to love myself, but just because I just simply wasn't aware that the actions that I was taking were very contrary to a self-love kind of practice. So if you guys have been following my channel for a while, you know that I've separated from a lot of people that I used to call friends. A lot of them were simply really just around because of all of the things that I had to offer, all of the experiences, the money, and not a lot of those people really care for me unconditionally. There were some people there, and not that that's necessary, but it's just that the motives were off. And therefore, just by default, when you surround yourself with people who are not necessarily really for you, you're already kind of not making the best choices self-love wise, because the environment in which you put yourself in says a lot about how much you care about yourself. So if you feel a certain kind of way, or you just don't feel like you could be yourself around people, it doesn't have to be friends, it could be family. If you don't feel like you're in spaces where you can really thrive and be your most authentic self, that's something to look at. So a way that you can love yourself is by putting yourself in situations and around people who genuinely care about you, and even if they don't necessarily just care about you, put yourself in places where you could build community with other people who are like-minded, so that you can really thrive wherever you are. Because sometimes I might not necessarily be best buddies with the people that I surround myself with, like as far as like community, because I like to be a part of the dance community. I'm a part of the skate community here in Los Angeles. I don't know all of those people personally, but we have a certain understanding and a certain community built around self-expression, where I can be myself without someone feeling like, oh, this person just wants attention because I like to dance and I like to, oh my God, this, whatever this truck is outside is so annoying. I'm so sorry for you guys if it's bothering you, but that's surrounding yourself with like minds and people who just get you is very important, because that's aiding you in your evolution of self. It's aiding you in being who you want to be, and it's aiding you and putting you around places where you can be genuinely happy. You can be genuinely yourself. Let's see, what's another thing you could do? When you love yourself, I made notes, but it's on my phone and I'm recording on my phone. Hold on, you guys. I need to go and get my little mirror. Loving yourself is in how you communicate with yourself. Being nice to yourself. Like, I really think that this is underestimated. A lot of us think that is kind of elementary. Like, when you talk to kids, you want them to talk nice and, speak nicely about themselves. But that never really changes. What is your inner conversation when it comes to you? If you struggle with having positive conversation, I suggest that you do more meditation so that you can become more aware of what your thoughts are. And if you find it necessary, you can even dig deeper into where those voices came from, because I believe that most of the negative voices that we have don't originate from us. Usually maybe in childhood, you were around some people who were negative and they had negative self-talk, and therefore you learned that to now be in your voice. So maybe if you were raised around someone who always complained about everything and found the worst in everything, guess what you're going to do? Unless you had other outside forces that helped you to balance this out, you're likely to take on that same kind of inner talk and dialogue. And if that's where you are, that's okay. We all have to start somewhere. I think that I used to be very negative in my self-talk until I started working on it. And I still have to work on it. I'm not perfect. I don't think that we ever just 1000% just don't have negative thoughts. I think that it kind of comes with being a human, because not every thought that we have you have to believe in. I just think that there's just an atmosphere of thoughts, and sometimes they just come in and you just have to be able to let them come and go, but not necessarily attach yourself to them, especially if it's negative. And meditation helps because, like I said, you can just kind of hear what it is that you're saying and take it just one thing at a time. Like, you don't have to try to change every single negative thought that you have overnight. You don't have to magically become this person who never ever thinks anything negative. Maybe just once a month, pick one thing that you want to work on. Like, if you feel like you tear yourself up about how you look, maybe just start to tell yourself how beautiful you are 3 times a day. And when you wake up, at some point in the middle of the day and before you go to bed, maybe look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm beautiful, until you start to believe it, and until, whatever negative thoughts that you might have about yourself goes away. Or if you feel like, it could really honestly be anything that you don't find to be desirable, that bothers you, that hinders you in everyday life, because you're thinking certain things, then you want to just slowly work on changing these things. And it's really important to maintain compassion when you are trying to change negative thoughts, because you have to know that these are thoughts that you probably have rehearsed millions and billions of times for God knows how long, years. And negative voices and negative thoughts are not going to dissipate overnight, but it is possible, and it does take conscious work. And you might backslide sometimes. It's okay. You're still going to at times have negative thoughts. Nobody is confident 1,000,000% of the time. Like, even if it seems like it, everybody has negative thoughts. Everybody gets self-conscious about things sometimes. Everybody has certain things, but you can make your primary voice a confident one and a loving one, and one that encourages you more than it tears you down. This is very important. And I have been working on saying my same affirmations for this year every single day, because there are just some things that I feel like I might have had around, like, you know, being successful. Because it's like, for a long time, I felt like maybe it was hard for me to believe that good things were going to happen to me, as far as just like being successful and moving forward in my career. But now I'm slowly but surely affirming other things that are going to help me to move forward, and to also make the steps that I need to make in order to do the things I want to do in life, because I'm changing my mindset one day at a time, one affirmation at a time. And I've just gotten to a point now to where I don't try to rush myself to be anywhere other than I am, but I do make constant work towards it. So take that if you feel like it's helpful to you. It's definitely helped me out so much. You really can be your best friend. Which brings me to my next point. Are you your best friend, or are you your worst enemy? At the end of the day, manifestation is real, and what you believe on the inside is going to affect what happens on the outside in your world. And we have to take responsibility of how we feel about ourselves, because a lot of the times the things that maybe we hear from other people that might trigger us, or the situations that come about, everything comes from the inside. How you feel about yourself is what you attract. It's what you create in your life. So ultimately, working on yourself is going to help you move towards having a more loving life in general, being able to recognize love, being able to give love and receive love, and know that we are worthy of love. All of that sometimes can take work, depending on who you are and how you were raised and what was available to you. So I feel like doing the work in general is an act of self-love. Deciding that, you know what, I'm not going to beat myself up anymore, and I am going to think this way now. And I'm going to love myself, even if it takes me 3 years of saying the same thing over and over again before I believe it. That itself is an act of love, and that is loving yourself, doing the work. Let's go back to listening to yourself. So another thing, you know you love yourself when you can confide in yourself about how you feel without gaslighting yourself, and then also take action. So, for example, if you know for a fact, the easiest example that I can think of, that you just hate the job that you're at, and every single day you know that, first of all, you know that your job is a huge part of where your life. So if you just feel like you just hate your job, maybe an act of love is to change the way that you think about that job until you start to enjoy it. Or maybe start taking steps towards getting a new job. When you just think about it. So if your kid or something, if you had a child, even if you don't, if your child was coming to you every single day crying because they didn't like the school that they were at, and they were being bullied mercilessly, and the teachers were mean to them, and they hated being there. As somebody who loves your kid, you would start to take action in one way or another. That action could be maybe you send your kid to self-defense classes so that they feel more confident. Maybe it's that you remove your child altogether and put them in a new school. Whatever your choice is, the acting after hearing yourself is an act of love. That's how you can love yourself. So loving yourself means not ignoring the things that you feel. You need to acknowledge the things that you feel and act accordingly. Okay, so I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory, and I think that these are things that people don't really think about when they think about self-love. We just think about, oh, take a bubble bath, let's go get facials, all of that. Self-love is having boundaries. If you don't have boundaries, if you don't even know what boundaries are, self-love is, after this video, looking up boundaries and how you can start asserting them today, because boundaries are what allow people to respect you in the way that you want to be respected. Only being around people who speak to you the way that you want to be spoken to. Knowing how to only interact with people who treat you well and care about you and show you reciprocity. These things are ways that you can show yourself love. Okay, let me see, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna do some lashes? I'm just gonna do lashes because I don't know, I just don't like mascara that much because it just runs. Or maybe should I? Because sometimes I don't feel like having lashes on. Oh well, it's already open. So let's see, maybe I could just put them on in a way that doesn't bother me. So yeah, this is pretty much the makeup I'm gonna do today. I'm not gonna do any like winged eyeliner or anything like that. Let me see if I have some less dramatic lashes. So I get this from Amazon. If you guys want it, I will put it down below. I believe it's only like 13 bucks or something. It's no more than 20, but it's definitely worth it. These usually last me for months and months because I don't wear falsies every day, but it's nice to just never have to go out and get them if you decide that you want to wear them. Yeah, so please, if you like these suggestions or if you found these tips helpful, definitely go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Share it with somebody who might want to be, who's very interested in loving themselves this year. It's never too late. We're actually just at the start of the real new year, with it being Aries season. So it's always the perfect time for change if you want to go ahead and do that. I'm gonna put on some lashes and then maybe do some lip gloss. Oh, I love it when I can get it on there and it doesn't touch my skin at all. I want to do those magnetic lashes. I tried it once, but I had the kind where it was like mascara and then it stuck to the mascara, but I just want the ones where the lashes stick to the lashes, because sometimes when glue is on my skin, it just feels like itchy. So getting it as close to the skin without actually getting on there is my sweet spot when it comes to lashes. Then I usually just take this off the back. Do this a little. I haven't done my makeup in like, it hasn't been that long actually, because I just did like a shoot. Wonderful. Okay, you guys, well, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. This is pretty good. If I do anything else, all I'm gonna do is put on some lip gloss. Right now I got chapstick on because it's like no matter how much water I drink, I just don't understand how my lips can be chapped sometimes. But we're gonna keep drinking water and seeing how that goes. Oh my god, yes. And I'm just gonna keep letting my lashes dry. And definitely, like I said, subscribe to the channel. Check out my links down below. If you guys want to support me, I made a Patreon so that I could spend more time here making content for you guys, because I would definitely do this every day, every other day, if I didn't have to go away and work and do other things. So the more money that I can make through my content, the more content I could put out. And also I can work on upgrading all of my quality and things of that nature. So if that sounds like something that you want to do and you want to support, it is there for you guys at any time to hop on the Patreon. It starts at $3. And then also I have merch. You guys can check out the Be My Lover merch and listen to my music. I also have that link down below. And I will also link the lashes that I'm using today down below if you guys want to get a case of lashes. I believe it comes with about 20 pairs. 20 pairs or more, 25 maybe, I don't know. I get like the really big ones because I hate things that I have to keep ordering like back to back, because I'm not good with that. I'd rather just get bulk of everything and just have it, and then by the time it's finally running out, then it's just easy for me to see like, okay, let me just go ahead and get some more, rather than, you know, getting something every week, every other week. That doesn't work for me. So all right, you guys, I hope you like the finished look. Oh my gosh, this feels so good. I'm so happy it's not touching my skin, so I could be cute all day without snatching off my lashes, because I do snatch them off when I feel like they're irritating. That's self-love, listening to yourself. Okay, you guys, mwah.